Stop looking for me, please. 5 months pregnant with his pup, and I'm carrying a tray of watered-down vodka tonics through a club that smells like sweat, cheap cologne, and bad decisions. My name is Elliot James Reyes, 23 years old. Omega, and if the most dangerous alpha in Chicago finds out I'm alive, I'm dead anyway. So I keep my head down. I wear the scent blockers that burn my skin raw. I bind my belly with compression fabric that makes it hard to breathe. And I pretend I don't feel the phantom ache of a bond mark that was never completed. A mark that still pulses against my neck like a second heartbeat every time the wind shifts wrong. What Marcus Thorne doesn't know is that I'm carrying his pup, the heir to his entire empire, growing inside me while I serve drinks for tips that barely cover rent. What I don't know yet is that the man who helped me escape, the one I trusted with everything, has been lying to me since the beginning. And tonight, every lie is about to collide. Welcome to Yowie Blossom Box, fam. The bass from Club Velvet hits my chest like a second pulse. Heavy, relentless, drowning out everything except the ache in my lower back and the pup doing somersaults against my ribs. 5 months. I've been hiding for 5 months. I shift the tray to my other hand, feeling the familiar burn in my shoulders. The uniform they gave me is a size too small. Black button-down stretched tight across my belly, though I've gotten creative with the vest they make us wear. Strategic angles, trays held just right. In the dim club lighting, most people don't notice. Most people aren't looking. That's the thing about being invisible. You have to earn it every single day. Reyes, table 12 needs their refills. Move your ass. Danny, the floor manager, snaps his fingers at me like I'm a dog. He's a beta with a Napoleon complex and a suspicious stain on his collar that I've learned not to ask about. He doesn't know I'm an Omega. The scent blockers take care of that. And he definitely doesn't know about the pup. As far as he's concerned, I'm just another desperate guy working for cash under the table. On it, I say, keeping my voice flat. I learned early that showing emotion here is like bleeding in shark-infested water. These people can smell weakness even without Omega senses. I weave through the crowd, my feet screaming in the cheap dress shoes I found at Goodwill. The left one has a crack in the sole that lets in water when it rains, which is often. Because Chicago in November is basically God's way of saying, suffer. The pup kicks again, harder this time, and I press my free hand against my belly for just a second. Hey, I know, I'm sorry. We're almost done for tonight. I've started talking to him, her, them. I don't actually know the designation or gender yet. Can't afford the ultrasound that would tell me. But I've started calling them Bean in my head, because that's what they look like in the one grainy image I managed to get from the free clinic 3 months ago. A bean. My bean. The only thing in this world that's actually mine. The thought makes my throat tight, so I shove it down and keep walking. Table 12 is a group of finance bros celebrating someone's birthday. They're loud, drunk, and handsy, the trifecta of everything I hate about this job. But their tips are decent. And decent tips mean I can afford both rent and food this week instead of choosing between them. So I smile. Plastic. Practiced. Here you go, gentlemen. Another round. One of them, blonde, expensive watch, the kind of alpha whose scent probably makes Omegas swoon in normal circumstances, lets his hand brush my hip as I set down his drink. I step back before he can grab. Anything else? Yeah. He grins all teeth. Your number. My smile doesn't waver. I'm working. So take a break. Can't afford to. It's not a lie. I literally cannot afford to. If Danny catches me slacking, I lose this job. And if I lose this job, I lose the apartment. And if I lose the apartment, I don't let myself finish that thought. Maybe next time, I say, already turning away. His laugh follows me across the floor. Playing hard to get, I like it. No, I'm playing pregnant with another alpha's pup and trying not to die. But sure, hard to get. Let's go with that. I make it back to the bar, dump the empty tray, and allow myself exactly 30 seconds to lean against the wall and breathe. My phone buzzes in my pocket. I pull it out, expecting Danny with another demand. Instead, the message is from a name that makes my blood chill. Cole. You need to see this. Call me, now. Cole Whitman, the only friend I have left in this city. The man who helped me disappear when everything fell apart. The man who told me Marcus had rejected our bond, that he'd chosen someone else, that I was nothing but a mistake he wanted erased. If Cole is reaching out like this, something is wrong. Something is always wrong. I'm about to call him back when the energy in the room shifts. I feel him before I see him. It starts as a prickle at the base of my skull, the spot where his teeth almost broke skin 5 months ago. The incomplete bond mark throbs to life, sending heat spreading down my spine like someone's traced a lit match along my vertebrae. No. My hands tighten on the bar edge. The scent blockers should be working. They should be working. I applied 3 layers before my shift, burned through half a bottle this week alone. But my body doesn't care about logic. My body remembers him. The crowd parts. Not dramatically, not like in movies. But people shift, move aside, create space without even realizing they're doing it. Because alphas like Marcus Thorne don't walk through crowds. They carve through them. And everyone's hindbrain recognizes a predator, even if their conscious mind doesn't understand why they're suddenly stepping back. And then I see him, Marcus Thorne, alpha, head of the Thorne Pack, owner of half the real estate in Chicago's South Side, the man whose empire was built on blood and loyalty and the kind of ruthless efficiency that makes politicians nervous and criminals respectful. He's wearing all black, of course he is, a tailored suit that probably costs more than 6 months of my rent. His dark hair is pushed back from his face, and even from across the room, I can see the sharp line of his jaw, the cold calculation in those steel gray eyes that used to look at me like I was the only thing in the world worth seeing. Now those eyes scan the room like he's hunting. My heart stops. He can't know I'm here. He can't. I press myself further into the shadows by the bar, using a pillar to block his line of sight. My breathing goes shallow. The pup kicks frantically, sensing my panic probably, and I press my hand against my belly, trying to calm us both down. Shh, shh. We're okay. He's not looking for us. He can't be. But even as I think it, I notice something that makes my stomach drop. There's someone on his arm, an Omega, tall, slender, devastatingly beautiful in that effortless way that makes me feel like a garbage fire in comparison. Blonde hair perfectly styled, wearing something designer that flows like water when he moves. His scent, even from here I can detect hints of it, is sweet and refined. The kind of Omega who belongs in pack photos, at charity galas, in Marcus Thorne's bed. Everything I was never supposed to be. My incomplete bond mark burns. I bite my lip hard enough to taste copper, using the pain to anchor myself. To stop the wine building in my throat that would give everything away. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't. Elliot! Danny's voice cuts through my panic. Table 7, VIP, move it! I check the table assignment. My blood turns to ice. Table 7 is Marcus's table. I can't! The words come out before I can stop them. Desperate. Pathetic. Danny's eyes narrow. Excuse me? My mind races for an excuse. Any excuse. I'm not feeling well. Someone else doesn't have legs as nice as yours. He grabs my arm, fingers digging in hard enough to bruise. Mr. Thorne is VIP, and when VIP requests personal service, we deliver. Unless you want to walk out of here without a job, he requested me. No, that doesn't make sense. He doesn't know I'm here. How could he possibly? Clock's ticking. Reyes. Danny shoves a tray into my hands. Champagne, the expensive kind. My fingers are shaking so hard the glasses clink against each other. I could run. I should run. But I've spent 5 months building this invisible life, and if I bolt now, Danny will ask questions. Marcus's security will notice. And then I won't just be running. I'll be running with everyone knowing exactly who I am and where I've been hiding. So I do the only thing I can. I walk toward table 7. Each step feels like walking toward my own execution. The pup is kicking constantly now, tiny feet drumming against my insides like a warning. I keep my head down, keep the tray balanced, focus on breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Don't think about the fact that his scent is getting stronger with every step. Pine, wood smoke. Something darker underneath, like expensive whiskey aged in oak. I used to fall asleep surrounded by that scent, used to bury my face in his neck and breathe him in like oxygen. Now it makes me want to cry. I reach the table, set down the champagne, keep my eyes on the glasses because if I look up, if I meet his gaze, that will be all, I say, my voice somehow steady, a miracle. Is there anything else you... Look at me. His voice. God, his voice. Low and commanding, the kind of tone that makes my omega instincts want to bare my throat and submit. 5 months of scent blockers and suppressants and sheer willpower, and 2 words from him nearly undoes all of it. I don't look up. I said, Marcus repeats, slower now, the command sharpening. Look at me. The omega on his arm makes a soft, annoyed sound. Marcus, darling, the champagne is fine. Let the help go. The help. That breaks something in me. The fear, the desperation, the months of hiding and starving and crying myself to sleep in a studio apartment that's more mold than walls. I'm not just the help. I'm the omega carrying his pup, the one he apparently threw away for someone suitable. So I do what omegas aren't supposed to do. I look up, and I meet his eyes. 3 seconds. That's how long it takes for the world to end. Marcus's expression cycles through shock first. Genuine, unfiltered shock that cracks through his usual mask of cold control. Then confusion, like he's trying to reconcile what he's seeing with what he believes to be true. Then something darker floods his features. Hunger, possession, rage. Elliot, my name comes out wrecked, broken. Like he's saying it for the first time in months and it's been stuck in his throat the whole time. The omega beside him stiffens. I'm sorry. Who? Neither of us acknowledges him. Marcus's eyes drop from my face to my body, tracking the changes. The weight I've lost in my face. The weight I've gained elsewhere. The strategic placement of the tray that I've just set down, which is no longer hiding anything. I watch him do the math. 5 months since I disappeared. 5 months pregnant with a belly I can barely conceal. No, the word tears out of him. That's not. You can't be. Your champagne, sir. I force the words through numb lips. Will there be anything else? He moves so fast I don't even see it happen. One moment he's seated, the next he's on his feet, towering over me. His hand wraps around my wrist, not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough that I couldn't pull away if I tried. The contact is electric. My bond mark screams. Heat floods through me, and for one terrifying moment, my knees actually go weak. Every cell in my body recognizes him, wants him, has been starving for him for 5 months while I told myself I was fine. I was over it. I didn't need him. My body's calling me a liar. How far along? His voice is barely a whisper. Dangerous. Desperate. I don't know what you're talking about. Elliot. His grip tightens infinitesimally. How? Far? Along? The omega at the table stands abruptly. Marcus, what is this? Who is this person? Why are you... 5 months. The answer falls out of me like a confession. I hate how my voice cracks. And before you do the math, yes, it's yours. And no, I don't want anything from you. I just want to be left alone. Something shatters in his expression. And in that moment, with his hand on my wrist and his scent flooding my senses and his pup kicking against my belly like it knows its father is near, I realized that being left alone was never going to be an option. The realization settles over me like ice water, and for a moment, I can't breathe, can't think, can't do anything except stand there with Marcus's hand burning against my wrist and his scent flooding every corner of my brain. Then survival instincts kick in. Let go of me. My voice comes out sharper than I intended. Good. Sharp is good. Sharp means I'm not falling apart, even if my insides feel like a snow globe someone shook too hard. Marcus doesn't let go. If anything, his grip tightens. 5 months. He repeats the number like it's a curse, like it's a prayer. You've been pregnant for 5 months and you've been here, working in a club? Last time I checked, pregnant people still need to eat. I yank my arm, but it's like trying to move a concrete wall. And since someone decided I wasn't pack material anymore, I had to figure out the eating thing on my own. Something flickers across his face. Confusion, maybe. Or guilt. Hard to tell with Marcus. The man has approximately 3 facial expressions. Cold, colder, and I'm about to ruin someone's life. What are you talking about? His brow furrows. I never said you weren't pack material. I never said anything. You disappeared. You left without a word, without a trace, and I've spent 5 months tearing this city apart trying to find you. Now it's my turn to be confused. That's not what happened. Then tell me what happened, Elliot. Because from where I stood, you vanished. Your apartment was empty. Your phone was disconnected. Every trail went cold. I thought you were dead. The raw edge in his voice catches me off guard. Marcus Thorne doesn't do raw. Marcus Thorne does controlled, calculated, precise. This version of him, with his composure cracking at the seams, feels wrong. Feels like a trap. Marcus, darling. The blonde Omega inserts himself between us, one manicured hand pressing against Marcus's chest. You're causing a scene. People are staring. Whatever this misunderstanding is, perhaps we could discuss it somewhere more private? Marcus looks at him like he forgot the Omega existed. Which, honestly? Mood. Preston, go wait in the car. Preston's perfect eyebrows shoot up. Excuse me? I said go wait in the car. Marcus's tone leaves zero room for negotiation. I'll be there when I'm done. When you're done? Preston's voice climbs an octave. We have the charity gala in 2 hours. Your mother is expecting us. I am not going to sit in a car like some dismissed servant while you have a reunion with your pregnant... What exactly? Ex-boyfriend? Baby mama? Baby daddy, actually. I offer helpfully. Different vibe. Similar disappointment. Preston turns his glare on me. Up close, he's even more annoyingly pretty. High cheekbones, pouty lips, the kind of delicate bone structure that probably photographs like a dream. His scent is clean and expensive, something floral with hints of vanilla. Nothing like me. Nothing at all. And who exactly are you? He asks, looking me up and down like I'm something he found on the bottom of his designer shoe. Elliot Reyes. I give him my best customer service smile, the one that says, I hope you choke on your champagne, while remaining technically polite. I'd say it's nice to meet you, but my mother raised me not to lie. Preston's face goes through several interesting colors. Red, then white, then a sort of mottled purple that clashes horribly with his outfit. You little... Preston. Marcus's voice is a whip crack. Car, now. For a moment, I think Preston is going to argue. His jaw tightens, eyes flashing with something ugly. But then he looks at Marcus, really looks at him, and whatever he sees there makes him take a step back. This isn't over, he says, to me or to Marcus or maybe to the universe in general. Then he's turning on his heel, stalking toward the VIP exit like a model on a runway, if that model was also plotting murder. Your boyfriend seems nice, I say flatly. Very warm. Very welcoming. He's not my boyfriend. Could have fooled me with the Marcus darling and the matching outfits. Marcus's jaw tightens. It's complicated. Isn't it always? I finally managed to wrench my wrist free, taking a step back, then another, putting distance between us because I need to think, and I can't think with his scent wrapping around me like a fog. Look, I don't know what game you're playing, but I'm not interested. You made your choice 5 months ago. I got the message loud and clear. What message? Elliot, I didn't send any message. I woke up and you were gone. Really? Because Cole had a whole folder of evidence that said otherwise. Marcus goes very, very still. Cole. The name comes out dangerous. Quiet in a way that makes the hair on my arms stand up. Cole Whitman? My second? That Cole. Your former second, apparently. I cross my arms over my chest, trying to ignore the way my heart is pounding. He found me after I left. Said you'd already replaced me with someone more suitable. Said the bond rejection was filed. Said you never wanted to see me again. And you believed him? The accusation stings more than it should. He had proof, Marcus. Screenshots of messages, photos of you with other Omegas, a signed rejection document with your signature on it. What was I supposed to think? Marcus's expression shifts. The confusion drains away, replaced by something cold and furious that makes my Omega instincts want to run and hide. But here's the thing about me. I've never been good at doing what my instincts tell me. That document was forged, Marcus says, each word dropping like a stone into still water. I never signed a rejection. I never sent any messages. And I have certainly never replaced you with anyone. Then why? I trail off because suddenly nothing makes sense. The pieces of the puzzle I've been carrying for 5 months are rearranging themselves, and the new picture forming is one I don't want to see. Why would Cole lie? That's an excellent question. Marcus pulls out his phone, typing rapidly. One I intend to get answered tonight. What are you doing? Calling an emergency pack meeting. Now, it's almost midnight. My mate has been missing for 5 months, pregnant and working in a nightclub because someone in my pack fed him lies. Yes, Elliot, now. The word mate hits me like a physical blow. I'm not your mate, I manage, even though my voice wavers. We never completed the bond. Remember? You bit me, but you didn't. Didn't finish the claim. His eyes drop to my neck, to the spot where his teeth marks have faded into silvery scars that still pulse with unrequited connection. I was trying to do things properly, wanted to wait until the bonding ceremony, until we had the whole pack as witnesses. A bitter laugh escapes him. Clearly, that was a mistake. I don't know what to say to that. Don't know what to feel. 5 months of certainty is crumbling under my feet, and I'm terrified of what might be underneath. Reyes! Danny's voice cuts through the moment, high and panicked. He's practically running across the floor toward us, face pale. Sir, Mr. Thorne, I am so sorry if there's been any trouble. This employee is new, and if he's done anything inappropriate, he hasn't. Marcus doesn't even glance at Danny. His eyes stay fixed on me. In fact, he's done working here. Effective immediately. My stomach drops. You can't just... I can and I am. Marcus finally looks at Danny, and the full weight of his alpha presence lands on the man like a physical force. Danny actually staggers back a step. How much does he make here? What? His wages. How much? Danny sputters out a number that's embarrassingly low, but still more than I could make anywhere else without documents or references. Marcus nods once. I'm buying this club. As of now, it belongs to the Thorn Pack. Every employee gets a 50% raise and full benefits, retroactive to 6 months ago. Except you, Danny blinks. Except me? You're fired for making a pregnant Omega work double shifts on his feet with no breaks. Marcus's smile is thin and cold. Security will escort you out. Consider yourself lucky I'm not doing worse. 2 men in black suits materialize from nowhere, flanking Danny before he can respond. His mouth opens and closes like a fish as they lead him away. And I would feel bad for him, except I really, really don't. You didn't have to do that, I say once Danny's gone. Yes, I did. You can't just buy a club because you're annoyed. I can do whatever I want. Marcus steps closer, and I hate that I don't step back. Hate that part of me wants him closer, especially when it comes to protecting what's mine. I'm not yours. Aren't you? His hand lifts, and I tense, expecting him to grab my wrist again. Instead, his fingers brush against my jaw, gentle as a whisper. The touch sends electricity racing down my spine. You're carrying my pup, he murmurs. You're wearing my incomplete mark. Your scent is the only thing that's made me feel anything in 5 months, Elliot. You can tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself, but we both know the truth. The pup kicks. Hard. Marcus's eyes go wide. His hand drops from my jaw to my belly, palm pressing flat against the swell, and I should push him away. Should tell him to stop. But then his expression changes, the cold alpha mask dissolving into something raw and wondering, and suddenly I can't move. That's... His voice cracks. Is that... Your kid has terrible timing, I say, but it comes out soft, almost fond. Gets that from you? Probably. He laughs. It's a broken sound, half sob and half disbelief. And when he looks up at me, there are actually tears in his eyes. Marcus Thorne, crying, over a kick. "Come home," he says. "Please, both of you, come home with me." And that's when my Omega superpower decides to finally wake up. It happens without warning. 1 second I'm standing there, overwhelmed and confused and exhausted. The next, a vision slams into me with the force of a freight train. I see Cole, standing in a room I don't recognize. He's on the phone smiling, and the smile is wrong, sharp and satisfied and cruel. "It's done," he says to whoever's listening. "Elliot's out of the picture. Marcus thinks he's dead. The bond will break eventually, and then..." The vision fractures, shatters. I'm back in the club, gasping, swaying on my feet. Marcus catches me before I fall. "Elliot, what's wrong? What just happened?" I stare up at him, my heart racing, my mind reeling from what I just saw. Because if that vision was real, if it wasn't just my imagination or pregnancy hormones or exhaustion playing tricks, then Cole didn't just lie. He planned this, all of it. "I think," I say slowly, "we need to talk, but not here." Marcus's arms tighten around me, protective, possessive. And for the first time in 5 months, I don't hate how that feels. "Then let's go home." I should argue, should insist I'm fine, that I don't need his help, that I can take care of myself like I've been doing all along. But my feet hurt, my back aches, my pup is kicking up a storm, and I just saw something that changes everything. "Fine," I whisper, "but this doesn't mean I trust you." "I know." He pulls me closer, one hand still resting on my belly. "I'm going to earn that back. You're going to try. I'm going to succeed." Cocky. He always was cocky. I'd forgotten how much I missed it. The thought terrifies me more than the vision did. Marcus guides me through the club with one hand on my lower back, his touch burning through the thin fabric of my uniform shirt. People part for us like we're royalty, and I catch snippets of whispered conversations as we pass. "Is that Thorne's new Omega? Did you see his belly? He's definitely pregnant. What happened to the blonde one?" I keep my chin up, keep walking, pretend I can't hear them, even though my enhanced Omega senses pick up every syllable. The November air hits my face the moment we step outside, cold and sharp and smelling like rain. A black SUV idles at the curb, sleek and expensive, and so quintessentially Marcus that I almost laugh. Almost. "Get in," he says, opening the back door. Such a gentleman. "Elliot." Fine. Getting in." I slide into the back seat, and the interior smells like leather and him. That pine and wood smoke scent that used to mean safety, comfort, home. Now it just makes my chest ache. Marcus climbs in beside me, and suddenly the spacious SUV feels tiny. His presence fills every corner, presses against my skin like a physical weight. The incomplete bond mark on my neck throbs in response. Hungry for something, I refuse to give it. "Where to, sir?" The driver glances in the rearview mirror. "The penthouse." Marcus doesn't take his eyes off me. "And call Dr. Chen. Tell her I need a full prenatal evaluation tonight." "Tonight?" "Marcus, it's almost midnight. She owes me a favor." His jaw tightens. Several, actually. The SUV pulls away from the curb, and I watch Club Velvet disappear through the tinted window. 5 months of careful invisibility, gone in one night. 5 months of pretending I was fine, shattered by a single touch. "You're being quiet," Marcus observes. "I'm processing." "Processing what?" "Everything. Nothing. The vision that's still burning behind my eyes. Cole's smile, sharp and wrong and cruel. The way Marcus looked at me like I was something precious instead of something discarded. The fact that my entire understanding of the last 5 months might be built on lies. "You really didn't send me away?" The question slips out before I can stop it. Vulnerable. Pathetic. I hate how much I need the answer. Marcus turns to face me fully. In the dim light of the SUV, his features look carved from stone, beautiful and cold and unreachable. Except his eyes. His eyes are anything but cold. "I spent 3 months searching for you personally," he says. "Checked every hospital, every shelter, every morgue in the city. When I ran out of places to look, I hired investigators. When they came up empty, I called in favors from every pack on the eastern seaboard. That's a lot. It wasn't enough. His voice drops lower. Nothing was enough. You were gone, and I didn't know if you were alive or dead or hurt. I didn't sleep, couldn't eat. My wolf was going insane, and I couldn't do anything except keep looking. The raw honesty in his words cuts through my defenses. I want to believe him. God, I want to believe him so badly it scares me. But I've been fooled before. Cole showed me proof, I say, forcing steel into my voice. Messages from your phone, photos of you with other Omegas, a signed rejection document. All fabricated. How do I know that? How do I know this isn't the lie? Marcus reaches into his jacket and pulls out his phone. A few taps and he's handing it to me. My message history with you. Read it. I take the phone with trembling fingers, scroll through the conversation thread labeled Elliot with a heart emoji next to my name. The last message from me, going to grab dinner. Want anything? The last message from him, just you, hurry home. That was the night I left. The night Cole found me outside the restaurant, showed me the evidence, and convinced me to disappear before Marcus could reject me publicly. I never responded to that text, and Marcus never sent another. I kept this thread open for 5 months, he says quietly. Checked it every day, hoping you'd reply. Hoping you'd tell me where you were, what I'd done wrong, anything. My throat feels tight. I thought you wanted me gone. I wanted you back. He leans closer and his scent wraps around me like a blanket. I wanted you home. I wanted to complete our bond, announce you as my mate, build a life with you. Cole told you the opposite? Cole told me a lot of things. And you believed him. The accusation stings because he's right. I believed Cole without question, took his word over everything Marcus and I had built together. He was your second, I say defensively. Your most trusted advisor. Why would he lie? That's what I intend to find out. The SUV turns onto a familiar street, and my heart clenches. I know this neighborhood, know these buildings, know exactly where we're headed because I used to call it home. I can't go back there, I whisper. You can. Marcus, it's still your home, Elliot. His hand finds mine in the darkness, fingers intertwining. It never stopped being your home. I never changed anything. Your clothes are still in the closet. Your books are still on the shelves. Your ridiculous, succulent collection is still taking over every windowsill. You kept my plants alive? I kept everything alive. His thumb traces circles on my palm. I was waiting for you. The SUV stops in front of the building I ran from 5 months ago. The penthouse rises above us, windows glowing warm against the cold Chicago night. And despite everything, despite the fear and the doubt and the 5 months of believing I meant nothing to him, I want to go inside. I want to go home. The thought scares me almost as much as the vision did. Marcus opens the door and offers his hand. I stare at it for 3 heartbeats, then take it, letting him help me out of the SUV. My feet ache the moment they hit the pavement, and I must wince because his grip tightens. When did you last sit down? Define sit down. Elliot, I had a 10-minute break around 8. Maybe. His jaw clenches so hard I can hear his teeth grinding. We're discussing your self-preservation instincts later. Bold of you to assume I have any. The lobby is exactly how I remember it. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, a doorman named Gerald who always snuck me extra cookies from the staff kitchen. Gerald's eyes go wide when he sees me, then wider when he notices my belly. Mr. Reyes? His voice cracks. You're alive? Rumors of my death were greatly exaggerated. I attempt to smile. Hey, Gerald. We thought... He swallows hard, blinking rapidly. Sir, we thought something terrible had happened. Mr. Thorne had us searching for months. We put up flyers. We checked every... Gerald. Marcus's voice is gentle but firm. We can catch up later. Right now, I need to get him upstairs. Of course, sir. Of course. Gerald practically leaps to press the elevator button. It's so good to see you, Mr. Reyes. So good. The elevator doors slide open, and Marcus guides me inside. The moment they close, sealing us in the mirrored box, my reflection stares back at me from every angle. I look terrible. Pale skin, dark circles under my eyes, hair that hasn't seen a proper cut in months. The cheap uniform hangs off my shoulders, and my belly strains against the vest I thought was hiding it so well. Stop, Marcus says softly. Stop what? Looking at yourself like that. He turns me away from the mirrors, positioning himself between me and my reflection. Like you're something less than perfect. I'm wearing a knockoff uniform and I haven't slept properly in 5 months. Perfect is not the word. It's the only word. The elevator dings, penthouse level. The doors open, and I step into a memory. Everything is exactly the same. The open floor plan with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Chicago skyline. The modern kitchen where I used to make pancakes on Sunday mornings. The ridiculous sectional couch that cost more than my car, where we used to curl up and watch terrible horror movies. And my plants, my succulents line every windowsill, just like he said. Not just alive, but thriving. Someone's been watering them, rotating them for sunlight, even repotting the ones that outgrew their containers. You actually... My voice fails me. I told you. Marcus moves past me, shrugging off his jacket. I kept everything. I walk toward the nearest window, fingers brushing against the leaves of my favorite echeveria. Her name is Bertha. Don't ask why. Hi, Bertha, I whisper. Miss me? He talks to them. I spin around. Marcus is watching me with an expression I can't read. What? My assistant, Julian. He comes by twice a week to care for them. A ghost of a smile crosses his face. He says talking to plants helps them grow, so he talks to them, tells them about the weather, the news, whatever. He said it felt wrong to let them sit in silence. My eyes are burning. I blink rapidly, refusing to cry. That's insane. They're plants. They're your plants. Still yours. He closes the distance between us, stopping just inches away. Everything here is still yours, Elliot. The clothes in the closet, the books on the shelves, the spot on the left side of the bed. I never touched any of it, never moved any of it, because you were going to come back. You couldn't have known that. I did. How? He reaches out, fingertips ghosting over the incomplete bond mark on my neck. The touch sends lightning through my veins. Because this never stopped burning, he murmurs. Every day for 5 months I felt you, felt our connection. It was weak, flickering, but it was there. Incomplete bonds fade when one person dies or rejects them entirely. Ours never faded. I swallow hard. It burned for me too. I know. His hand cups my jaw, tilting my face up to meet his eyes. I felt it. We're standing so close. Close enough that his breath fans across my lips. Close enough that if I lean forward just a few inches, we'd be kissing. I don't lean forward. I can't. Not yet. Not until I understand what happened. Not until I know the truth about Cole, about the lies, about everything that tore us apart. The doctor, I say, stepping back. You mentioned a doctor. Something like disappointment flickers in his eyes, but he nods. Dr. Chen. She'll be here within the hour. Best OB in the city. I can't afford... You don't have to afford anything. His tone leaves no room for argument. You're carrying my pup. Your care is my responsibility. I don't want to be a responsibility. Then be my partner. He catches my hand before I can pull away completely. Let me take care of you. Not because you can't take care of yourself. You've proven you can survive anything. But because you shouldn't have to. Not anymore. The pup kicks right against his palm. Marcus's breath catches. His eyes drop to my belly, wonder softening the hard lines of his face. Active little one. Gets that from me? I manage a weak smile. Constantly moving, can't sit still. Sounds about right. For a moment, we just stand there. His hand on my belly, our pup kicking between us. The city glittering through the windows like scattered diamonds. It feels like a beginning, or maybe just an ending that got interrupted. The intercom buzzes, shattering the moment. Dr. Chen is here, sir. The doorman's voice crackles through the speaker. Marcus steps back, his hand leaving my belly. The absence of his touch feels colder than it should. Send her up. I use the distraction to create more distance. wandering toward the bookshelf. My books are still organized by color, exactly the way I left them. Blue to purple to pink to red, creating a gradient that Marcus used to tease me about. It's chaotic, he'd say. It's aesthetically pleasing, I'd counter. You can't find anything. I can find everything. The heart wants what the heart wants, Marcus. Sometimes the heart wants a pink book. The memory aches. You're doing it again. I glance over my shoulder. Marcus is watching me with that unreadable expression. Doing what? Thinking too hard. He moves closer, stopping at a respectful distance. Learning, adjusting, giving me space I didn't ask for but desperately need. Whatever's going on in your head, just say it. I'm thinking about the vision. His brow furrows. Vision? Right. I never explained. The moment at the club when everything went sideways and I saw Cole smiling that terrible smile. There's something you should know about me, I say slowly. Something I never told you. Never told anyone, actually. I'm listening. The elevator dings before I can continue. A petite woman in her 50s steps out, carrying a medical bag that looks almost comically large against her small frame. Her silver-streaked hair is pulled back in a neat bun, and her eyes are sharp and assessing. Marcus. She nods at him, then turns to me. And you must be Elliot. I've heard a great deal about you. None of it good, I'm sure. All of it obsessive. She sets her bag on the coffee table and pats the couch. Sit. You look ready to collapse. I want to argue, but my body betrays me by nearly buckling at the suggestion. I sink onto the couch, and the cushions feel like clouds after months of sleeping on a mattress that was more springs than foam. Dr. Chen pulls out equipment with practiced efficiency. Stethoscope, blood pressure cuff, some kind of handheld device I don't recognize. How far along? 5 months, almost 5.5. Prenatal care? One visit to a free clinic, 3 months ago. Her lips thin. Supplements? Vitamins? When I could afford them. Which was? I don't answer. We both know what silence means. Right. She wraps the blood pressure cuff around my arm. We're going to do a full workup tonight. Blood tests, ultrasound, the works. I want to make sure both you and the pup are healthy. Ultrasound? My voice cracks. You can do that here? Portable unit. She nods toward her bag. State of the art. Marcus insisted I have one for emergencies. I look at Marcus, who has positioned himself near the window. Watching but not crowding. Present but not overwhelming. You bought your doctor a portable ultrasound machine? I bought her an entire mobile clinic. He shrugs like it's nothing. She serves multiple packs in the area. Resources shouldn't be limited to those who can reach a hospital. That's... I don't have words. Actually really progressive of you. Don't sound so surprised. I'm surprised by a lot of things tonight. Dr. Chen takes my blood pressure, frowning at the results. Takes it again, frowns harder. Low, she murmurs. Too low. When did you last eat? Breakfast? What did you have? Half a granola bar. Half? The other half was moldy. Marcus makes a sound like he's been punched. Dr. Chen just shakes her head, digging through her bag for something. I'm going to draw blood, then we'll do the ultrasound. After that, you're eating an actual meal. Doctor's orders. I don't... Doctor's orders, she repeats firmly. Non-negotiable. The blood draw is quick. Professional. Dr. Chen moves with the efficiency of someone who's done this thousands of times, and before I know it, she's pulling out the ultrasound equipment. Shirt up. I hesitate. The compression fabric around my belly is uncomfortable enough in private. The thought of exposing it, of being vulnerable and visible and seen after months of hiding. I can leave, Marcus offers quietly, if you need privacy. Part of me wants to say yes, the self-protective part that's been keeping me alive for 5 months, building walls and armor and emotional distance. But a bigger part, the part that's exhausted and scared and desperately lonely, shakes my head. Stay. The word comes out smaller than I intended. Marcus moves closer, settling onto the couch beside me, not touching, but close enough that I can feel his warmth. I lift my shirt. The compression fabric underneath is industrial and ugly, the kind of thing designed for function over form. Dr. Chen helps me loosen it, and for the first time in months, my belly expands freely. The relief is immediate. I didn't realize how much I'd been constricting myself until the pressure released. You've been binding, Dr. Chen observes, voice carefully neutral. For how long? Since I started showing. That's dangerous. Restricts blood flow, compresses the... I know. I cut her off. I know it's dangerous, but I couldn't hide the pregnancy otherwise. And if I couldn't hide it, I couldn't work. And if I couldn't work, I don't finish. Don't need to. Dr. Chen squeezes gel onto my belly, and I hiss at the cold. Then she presses the wand against my skin, adjusting the portable screen. Static, shadows, a blur of black and white and gray. And then, a heartbeat. Not mine. Smaller, faster, fluttering like hummingbird wings. There we go, Dr. Chen murmurs. There's your pup. I can't breathe. On the screen, a tiny form takes shape. Head, body, limbs. Moving. Alive. Real. Oh my God, I whisper. Marcus's hand finds mine. Neither of us pulls away. The heartbeat fills the room. Fast and strong and impossibly real. I've spent 5 months talking to my belly, apologizing to the life growing inside me. But this is different. This is proof. This is a tiny human with a heartbeat and fingers and toes. And suddenly I'm crying. Sorry. I swipe at my face with my free hand. Hormones. Ignore me. Never. Marcus's voice is rough. His grip on my hand tightens. Is that really your pup? Dr. Chen adjusts the wand and the image sharpens. Approximately 22 weeks. Good size, strong heartbeat, active movement. She pauses, glancing between us. Would you like to know the gender? I look at Marcus. He looks at me. Together? He asks softly. 5 months ago, I imagined this moment differently. A sunny afternoon in this same penthouse, curled up on the couch, finding out together like the partners we were supposed to be. Instead, I'm malnourished and exhausted, and we're practically strangers wearing the ghosts of who we used to be. But he's here, and so am I. And our pup's heartbeat is filling the silence between us. Together, I whisper. Dr. Chen smiles. Congratulations. It's a boy. A boy. Marcus makes a sound I've never heard from him before. Half laugh, half sob, completely broken open. His forehead drops to our joined hands, shoulders shaking. A son, he breathes. We're having a son. The tears won't stop now. I don't even try to fight them. Our son, our baby boy. Growing inside me while I struggled alone, while Marcus searched alone, while Cole watched us both suffer and smiled about it. The thought of Cole sends a jolt through my system, and then the vision hits. It's different this time. Stronger. Maybe because of the emotion flooding through me. Maybe because Marcus is touching me. Maybe because I finally have something positive to anchor to instead of 5 months of fear and survival and numbness. The penthouse dissolves. I'm standing in an office I don't recognize. Dark wood paneling, leather chairs, the kind of old money aesthetic that screams power. Cole is there, but he's not alone. A woman sits behind the desk. Silver hair, sharp cheekbones, eyes like chips of ice. She's beautiful in the way that predators are beautiful, and when she smiles, my blood goes cold. The Omega is gone, Cole reports. Elliot believes Marcus rejected him. By the time the bond fades, Preston will be in position. And if the bond doesn't fade, Cole's smile turns cruel. I gave him enough emotional trauma to suppress any power he might have had. Fear, isolation, survival instinct. His precognition won't trigger if he's stuck in fight or flight mode permanently. The woman laughs. Delicate, terrifying. My son always did have terrible taste in mates. At least this one can be removed quietly. The vision shatters. I gasp, jerking back to reality so fast the ultrasound wand slips from my belly. Marcus is gripping my shoulders, his face inches from mine, eyes wild with concern. Elliot, what happened? You stopped breathing. The words won't come. My heart is racing so fast I can feel it in my throat. I saw... His blood pressure just spiked, Dr. Chen says urgently, checking her equipment. Elliot, I need you to breathe. Slow and steady. I saw her. The words tear out of me. Marcus, I saw your mother. With Cole. They planned this together. Marcus goes completely still. What? I have visions. It sounds insane. It is insane. But I can't keep this secret anymore. Not when everything makes sense now. Precognition. I've had the ability since I was a child, but it only triggers with strong emotion. That's why I never saw what Cole was doing before tonight. I was so scared, so focused on surviving, that I couldn't feel anything else. The visions need positive emotion to work. Hope, love, something stronger than fear. And tonight, I swallow hard. Tonight I heard our son's heartbeat. I felt you holding my hand. And suddenly I could see again. What exactly did you see? Cole reporting to your mother, telling her I was gone, that I believed you rejected me. He said, I forced myself to remember the exact words. He said he gave me enough emotional trauma to suppress my powers, that my precognition wouldn't trigger if I was stuck in survival mode. Marcus's expression transforms. The concern melts away, replaced by something cold and murderous. He knew about your abilities. I never told him. Which means someone else did. His jaw clenches. My mother. She must have had you investigated when we first bonded. Found out about the precognition and decided you were too dangerous to keep around. Why would your mother care about my abilities? Because my mother controls everything. Bitterness drips from every word. The pack, the business, me. She approved every Omega I ever dated, and when I bonded with you without her permission, she smiled and played supportive. But she was planning this the entire time. Cole mentioned Preston. Preston is her choice. The suitable Omega she's been pushing on me for years. Marcus releases my shoulders, standing abruptly. He paces to the window, body vibrating with barely contained rage. She orchestrated everything. The forged rejection, your disappearance, my supposed relationship with Preston, all of it. Marcus, she let you suffer. He turns and his eyes are glowing, not metaphorically, actually glowing, the amber of his alpha wolf bleeding through. Pregnant and alone and scared, and she knew where you were. She knew about our pup, and she did nothing. I should be afraid. An alpha in this state is dangerous, unpredictable. But my bond mark is singing instead of screaming. We're going to stop her, I say quietly. Together. Marcus stares at me like I've grown a second head. Which fair? 5 minutes ago, I was a malnourished pregnant Omega having an ultrasound. Now I'm proposing we take down his mother, the apparent evil mastermind behind my entire disappearance. Character development speedrun, I guess. You should be resting, he says finally. Not planning a war. I've been resting for 5 months. Resting and hiding and surviving on granola bars in spite. I push myself up on the couch, ignoring Dr. Chen's disapproving look. Your mother tried to erase me. She used Cole to break us apart, suppress my abilities, and replace me with a blonde Omega who probably uses more hair product than personality. I'm done resting. Did you just insult Preston's hair? I insulted his entire existence. Keep up. Something flickers in Marcus's eyes, almost like amusement, buried deep beneath the rage. There you are, he murmurs. What? The Elliot I fell in love with. He moves closer, crouching in front of the couch so we're eye level. Sharp tongue, zero self-preservation, ready to fight the world. I was starting to wonder if Cole had broken that out of you. Please, I'm unbreakable. Like a cockroach, but with better cheekbones. Dr. Chen clears her throat. As touching as this reunion is, I need to finish the examination. And then this Omega needs food, fluids, and approximately 12 hours of sleep. 12 hours? I blink at her. I don't think I've slept 12 hours total in the last month, which is why you're going to start tonight. She packs up the ultrasound equipment with efficient movements. The pup is healthy, but you're running on fumes. Your body can't sustain this much longer. I'll make sure he rests, Marcus says. I'll make sure I do whatever I want, I counter. Elliot, Marcus. We glare at each other. It's a familiar dance, one we perfected during our relationship. The immovable force meets the unstoppable sass. Dr. Chen sighs. I'm going to leave supplements and prenatal vitamins. Take them, all of them. I'll be back tomorrow for a follow-up. She pauses at the elevator, looking back at us. And Marcus, whatever you're planning regarding your mother, wait until morning. Revenge is better served with adequate sleep. The elevator doors close behind her. Silence settles over the penthouse. So, I say, your mom's evil. Apparently. And your second in command is a lying snake. Also apparently. And the fancy blonde Omega is part of some scheme to replace me. It would seem so. Cool, 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 cool. I lean back against the cushions, pressing my palms against my eyes. This is fine. Everything is fine. Elliot, I'm processing. Give me a minute. The couch dips as Marcus sits beside me, close enough that I can feel his warmth, but not quite touching, respecting my space even now. Can you see more? His voice is careful. With your visions, can you see what they're planning next? I drop my hands, staring at the ceiling. I don't know. The ability is unpredictable. It's stronger with positive emotions, like I said. But it's not like a TV I can turn on and off. The visions come when they want to. What triggers them? Touch sometimes. Strong feelings. Being near someone connected to whatever I'm supposed to see. I pause, thinking. When I touched your hand and heard the baby's heartbeat, I felt happy. For the first time in 5 months, I felt something other than scared, and the vision just exploded into my head. So positive emotions unlock it. Basically, Cole figured that out somehow. That's why he made sure I was terrified and alone. Hard to feel hope when you're wondering if you'll have enough money for both rent and dinner. Marcus's hands curl into fists. I'm going to kill him. Get in line. I'm serious, Elliot. So am I. I turn my head to look at him. But first, I need to understand what we're dealing with, which means I need to see more. How do we make that happen? This is the tricky part, the part I've been avoiding thinking about. I need to feel safe, I say slowly. Really safe. Like deep in my bones, safe. The kind of safe that lets your guard down completely. And you don't feel that now? I laugh, but there's no humor in it. Marcus, 3 hours ago, I was serving drinks in a nightclub, hiding from everyone I've ever known. My nervous system is still convinced I'm in danger. It's going to take more than a nice couch and an ultrasound to convince it otherwise. He nods slowly. What would help? Honestly, I have no idea. Before, when we were together, the visions came easily. I felt safe with you, with the pack. Everything was open. I swallow hard. Now there's so much fear and doubt clogging up my system that the signal can barely get through. Then we start there. Marcus shifts closer, and this time he does touch me. Just his hand over mine, gentle and warm. We rebuild the safety, however long it takes. That could take weeks, months. I have time. Your mother doesn't know I'm back yet. Once she finds out, she'll try something. His jaw tightens. Which is why we need to move fast, but not at the expense of your health or the baby's. Our baby, I correct softly. His expression softens. Our baby. Our son. The words hang in the air between us. Our son. A tiny life we created together, growing inside me while the world tried to tear us apart. I take a breath, then another, and then I do something incredibly stupid. I want to try something. What? The visions are stronger with positive emotion, and the strongest positive emotion I've ever felt was, I trail off, suddenly embarrassed. Was what? With you. When we were together. When you'd hold me after a long day. Or when we'd fall asleep tangled up in each other. Or when you'd look at me like I was the most important thing in the universe. Marcus's breath catches. Elliot, I'm not saying we jump back into bed together. I'm not ready for that, and honestly, I'm pretty sure Dr. Chen would murder us both. I force myself to meet his eyes. But maybe if you held me? Just held me. Let me remember what safety feels like with you. Are you sure? No. Yes. Maybe. I'm sure I want to try. He moves slowly, deliberately, giving me every opportunity to change my mind as he shifts on the couch, positioning himself against the armrest. Then he opens his arms. An invitation, not a demand. I hesitate for half a second. Then I crawl into his embrace, tucking myself against his chest, my pregnant belly pressing against his side. His arms wrap around me, one hand settling on my back, the other cradling my head. He smells like pine and wood smoke and home. Okay? He murmurs against my hair. Okay. We breathe together, in and out, slow and steady. I feel his heartbeat against my cheek, strong and constant. My bond mark pulses warmly instead of burning, and gradually, impossibly, my body begins to relax. The tension I've carried for 5 months starts to loosen, not disappearing entirely, but softening around the edges, making room for something other than fear. Hope, maybe, or the memory of hope. The vision slides in like water through cracks. I'm in the same office as before, same dark wood, same leather chairs, but this time I can see more details. A window overlooking a Chicago skyline, a nameplate on the desk that reads Victoria Thorne. Cole stands before Victoria, but he's not smiling anymore. He looks nervous. The situation has changed, he says. Marcus found him at the club tonight. Victoria's expression doesn't flicker. And? He took him back to the penthouse. Dr. Chen was called. They know about the pregnancy. Expected. Victoria waves a dismissive hand. The bond was always going to pull them together eventually. That's why we have contingencies. The contingencies require time. If Elliot's precognition reactivates before we can, then we accelerate the timeline. Victoria stands, moving to the window. Contact our asset inside the penthouse. I want to know every move they make. And Cole? She glances back, eyes cold. If the Omega becomes a liability, remove him. Permanently. And the child? Victoria smiles. It's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Children can be raised by anyone. The Thorne bloodline must continue, but it doesn't need that Omega to do it. The vision fractures. I jerk back to reality, gasping, fingers clawing at Marcus's shirt. Elliot? Elliot, what did you see? She knows. The words tumble out, panicked and breathless. Your mother knows I'm here. She has someone inside the penthouse, and she's planning to kill me and take our baby. Marcus goes rigid beneath me. What? There's a spy, someone close to us, feeding her information. I pull back far enough to meet his eyes, and Cole has orders to remove me permanently if I become a liability. The alpha glow returns to Marcus's eyes, brighter this time, more dangerous. No one touches you, he growls. No one touches our son. We need to find the spy first, figure out who we can trust. I trust you. His hand cups my face. I trust Dr. Chen. Everyone else is suspect until proven otherwise. Even your pack? Especially my pack. His expression hardens into something cold and lethal. My mother built this organization from the ground up. Half the members owe her their positions. Any of them could be loyal to her over me. That's a lot of potential enemies. Then it's a good thing I have you. His thumb traces my cheekbone. And your visions. And that sharp tongue of yours. My sharp tongue is a defensive mechanism, not a superpower. It's both. Something warm flickers in his eyes. You came back to me, Elliot. Against all odds, you came back. And together, we're going to tear my mother's plans apart piece by piece. That's very romantic and also slightly terrifying. I'm a romantic and terrifying person. Can't argue with that. He pulls me closer, pressing a kiss to my forehead. Soft, reverent, like I'm something precious. Rest now, he murmurs. Tomorrow we go to war. I thought Dr. Chen said revenge is better served with adequate sleep. She did, which is why you're sleeping first. He shifts us both into a more comfortable position, reaching for a blanket draped over the back of the couch. I'll keep watch. Marcus, you need to sleep too. I've slept enough over the past 5 months. His arms tighten around me. Tonight, I'm watching over what's mine. I should argue, should insist on being independent and capable and not needing protection. But I'm so tired and so warm. And for the first time in 5 months, I actually feel safe. Fine, I mumble, already drifting. But if I drool on you, that's your problem. Noted. I fall asleep to the sound of his heartbeat, and for once, no nightmares come. I wake to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows and the smell of bacon. Actual bacon. The crispy, delicious kind that costs real money and doesn't come from a gas station packet. My stomach growls so loud it's basically a mating call. Good morning to you too. Marcus's voice drifts from the kitchen. Breakfast is almost ready. I sit up slowly, blinking away sleep. The blanket slides off my shoulders and I realize I'm still on the couch, still wearing last night's uniform, still very much pregnant and in the middle of a conspiracy to destroy my life. But also, bacon, priorities. What time is it? I croak, my voice rough with sleep. Almost noon. You slept for 11 hours. 11 hours? I scramble upright, wincing as my back protests. Why didn't you wake me? We have plans. War plans. Taking down your evil mother plans. War can wait for breakfast. Marcus appears in the kitchen doorway, spatula in hand. He's changed into casual clothes, dark jeans and a Henley that stretches across his shoulders in ways I'm choosing not to notice. Dr. Chen's orders, remember? Food, fluids, rest. I rested for 11 hours. That's excessive. That's bare minimum. He disappears back into the kitchen. Come eat. I want to argue, I really do. But my stomach growls again, and the bacon smell is getting stronger. And honestly, I'm too hungry to be stubborn right now. I haul myself off the couch and waddle to the kitchen. Yes, waddle. 5 months pregnant, and I've officially entered the waddle phase. It's humiliating. The kitchen island is covered with food. Bacon, scrambled eggs, toast, fresh fruit, orange juice, and something that looks suspiciously like homemade waffles. Did you make all this? Julian helped. Marcus slides a plate toward me. Eat. Who's Julian? My assistant, the one who talks to your plants. Right, the plant whisperer. I vaguely remember Marcus mentioning him last night, before my world turned upside down again. I climb onto a bar stool and start eating. The first bite of bacon is so good I actually moan, which is embarrassing, but also I regret nothing. When did you learn to cook? I ask around a mouthful of eggs. I didn't. Julian did all the actual cooking. Marcus pours himself coffee. I supervised. So you watched. Supervising is a skill. Sure it is, big guy. His lips twitch, almost a smile. It's the closest thing to joy I've seen on his face since last night, and something warm blooms in my chest despite everything. Then my phone buzzes. I freeze. The phone is still in my uniform pocket, the cheap prepaid thing I bought when I went into hiding. Only 2 people have this number, my former landlord and Cole. Marcus notices my expression. What is it? I pull out the phone. One new message. Cole, I know you're at the penthouse. We need to talk. I can explain everything. My blood runs cold. He knows I'm here. I show Marcus the screen. How does he know I'm here? The spy. Marcus's jaw tightens. Whoever my mother has inside the building must have reported back. Or Cole tracked my phone. Can he do that? I don't know. Maybe. I stare at the message, heart pounding. What do I do? Do I respond? Ignore it? Marcus takes the phone from my hands, reading the message with narrowed eyes. He wants to explain. That means he's worried. He knows you're not alone anymore. Not vulnerable. He's trying to control the narrative before we figure out the full truth. So we don't respond. No. A slow smile spreads across his face, predatory and sharp. We respond. We invite him here. What? Think about it. Marcus sets the phone down. Cole doesn't know about your visions. He thinks your precognition is still suppressed. If we bring him here, let him think he's successfully manipulating us, you might be able to see more. Find out the full scope of my mother's plan. That's, I pause considering. Actually kind of brilliant. I have moments. Rare ones. Careful, I made you bacon. Julian made me bacon. You supervised. His almost smile becomes an actual smile. Small and quick, but real. My bond mark pulses warmly at the sight. Focus, Elliot. Evil conspiracies, murderous mothers-in-law, traitorous snakes pretending to be friends. If I'm going to use my visions intentionally, I need to be in the right headspace. I say slowly. Last night it worked because I felt safe. Because you were holding me, and we just heard the baby's heartbeat. Then we recreate those conditions. With Cole in the room? Before he arrives. Marcus moves around the island, coming to stand beside me. We prepare you emotionally first, get you centered, calm, open. Then when Cole shows up, you'll be ready to see whatever he's hiding. That sounds like meditation. I'm terrible at meditation. It sounds like trust. His hand covers mine on the counter. Do you trust me? The question hangs in the air. 24 hours ago, the answer would have been an immediate no. But 24 hours ago, I thought he'd rejected me. Thought he'd chosen someone else. Thought everything we had was a lie. Now I know the truth. Or at least I know more of it. I'm starting to, I admit. Does that count? It's a start. He squeezes my hand, then releases it. Finish eating. I'll text Cole, set up a meeting for this afternoon. That gives us a few hours to prepare. I shove more bacon in my mouth because stress eating is a valid coping mechanism, and no one can tell me otherwise. Marcus sends a text. The response comes almost immediately. Cole, 3 p.m., I'll be there. 3 o'clock, Marcus announces. That gives us 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours to unlock my psychic powers and prepare to face the man who ruined my life. I grab another piece of toast. No pressure. You've got this. You have way too much faith in me. I have exactly the right amount. He leans against the counter, watching me eat. You survived 5 months on your own, pregnant with no resources. You kept yourself and our son alive through sheer stubbornness. A conversation with Cole is nothing compared to that. Cole has a punchable face. That might be distracting. You can punch him after you read his mind. I don't read minds. I see visions. Same energy. I finish breakfast and let Marcus guide me to the bathroom, where he's apparently drawn me a bath. The tub is huge, the water is warm, and there are actual bubbles. This is bribery, I say, staring at the perfect bubble mountain. This is self-care. Same energy. He leaves me alone and I sink into the water with a groan of pure relief. My aching muscles start to relax. The baby kicks lazily, apparently enjoying the warmth as much as I am. I close my eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. Think about safety. Think about good things. Think about the sound of a tiny heartbeat on the ultrasound screen. The vision comes easier this time. I'm in the penthouse, but it's different. Wrong. The windows are shattered, glass scattered across the floor. There's blood on the carpet, and someone is crying. Me. I'm crying. Curled in the corner, arms wrapped around my belly, screaming. Cole stands over me, gun in hand. I didn't want it to end this way, he says, and his voice is almost sad. But you just couldn't stay hidden, could you? Couldn't stay scared and silent like you were supposed to. Please. My vision self sobs. Please, not the baby. Take me. Kill me. I don't care. Just not my son. The son is the whole point, Elliot. Cole crouches down, gun pressing against my temple. Victoria needs an heir. Marcus needs to be broken. And you? He smiles that wrong, cruel smile. You were always just the incubator. A gunshot. I scream. The vision shatters. And I'm back in the bathtub, gasping, water sloshing everywhere. Marcus bursts through the door, eyes wild. What happened? What did you see? I can't speak, can't breathe. The image of Cole's gun against my head is burned into my brain. He's going to kill me. The words come out strangled. This afternoon, he's coming here to kill me. What? It's a trap, Marcus. The meeting is a trap. I'm shaking so hard the water ripples. Cole isn't coming to explain. He's coming to finish what your mother started. Marcus's face transforms. The concern melts away, replaced by something ancient and terrifying. Pure alpha rage. Then we change the script. His voice is deadly calm. He thinks he's walking into a trap for you. Instead, he's walking into a trap for himself. How? Leave that to me. He grabs a towel, wrapping it around my shoulders as I climb out of the tub. Can you see anything else? Any details about how he plans to do it? I close my eyes, trying to reach for more, but the vision is gone, leaving only fragments. He had a gun. The windows were broken. There was blood, but I don't know whose. I pause, something else surfacing. And Marcus, in the vision, you weren't there. I was alone. His expression darkens. He's planning to separate us, draw me away somehow, then make his move. So we don't let him. No. Marcus's arms wrap around me, protective and fierce. We don't. My phone buzzes again from the other room. We both freeze. Marcus retrieves it, and his face goes pale. What? I demand. What is it? He turns the screen toward me. Unknown number. Change of plans. Look out the window. We move to the living room together. Marcus positions himself between me and the glass, but I push past him, needing to see. Down on the street, 3 black SUVs idle at the curb. Men in tactical gear pour out, surrounding the building. And stepping out of the lead vehicle, impeccably dressed in a white suit that probably costs more than my yearly survival budget, is Victoria Thorne. She looks up at the penthouse window, and she waves. She's not waiting for Cole's report, I breathe. She's here herself. Marcus's phone rings. He answers, puts it on speaker. Hello, darling, Victoria's voice purrs. I believe you have something that belongs to me. Marcus's grip on the phone tightens until I hear the case creak. Mother, his voice is ice. I was wondering when you'd stop hiding behind your puppets. Puppets serve their purpose, but some things require a personal touch. Her tone is pleasant, conversational, like she's discussing brunch plans instead of kidnapping. Now be a good boy and send down the Omega. This doesn't have to be messy. You're right, it doesn't. Marcus moves to the window, looking down at the street. Because you're going to take your men and leave. Now. Victoria laughs. Delicate. Poisonous. Oh, sweetheart. You always were sentimental. It's your father's weakness showing through. A pause. The Omega is unsuitable. I told you this when you first brought him home, and I'm telling you now. He's a distraction, a liability, and his bloodline is completely unremarkable. The child, however, has potential. Thorne genetics are dominant. We can work with that. The child is mine. Marcus's voice drops to a growl, and so is Elliot. You don't get to take either of them. I'm not asking for permission. The line goes dead. Marcus turns to me, and his expression is terrifying. Not because of the rage, but because underneath it, I see fear. Real, genuine fear. The penthouse has security protocols, he says quickly. Reinforced doors, bulletproof windows, panic room in the master bedroom. She can't get in easily. But she can get in eventually. Yes. I take a breath, then another. My heart is pounding so hard the baby must feel it like an earthquake. What about your pack? Can you call for backup? Half of them might be loyal to her. I don't know who to trust. Dr. Chen? She's a doctor, not a soldier. Julian, the plant whisperer? Marcus shakes his head. He left this morning. I sent him home after breakfast. So we're alone. Trapped in a penthouse with Victoria's tactical team surrounding the building and no way to know who might help us. Great. Wonderful. Exactly how I wanted to spend my Tuesday. Okay. I press my palms against my eyes, trying to think. Okay. We need a plan. The plan is to keep you safe until I can neutralize the threat. The plan is garbage and you know it. I drop my hands, meeting his gaze. She has trained men with guns. You're one alpha, and I'm a pregnant Omega who can barely waddle to the bathroom without getting winded. We can't fight our way out of this. Then what do you suggest? I don't know. I don't know. My brain is spinning in circles, terror and adrenaline making it impossible to focus. And then, a thought. Crazy, stupid, potentially suicidal, but also maybe brilliant. My visions, I say slowly. They show me what's going to happen. What if I could see further? Not just the next few minutes, but the outcome? The way this ends? Can you do that? I've never tried. I swallow hard. But I've also never had stakes this high. My abilities respond to emotion, right? And right now, I'm feeling a lot of emotion. Marcus crosses to me in 2 strides, hands gripping my shoulders. What do you need? You. The word comes out before I can second guess it. I need you to anchor me. Last time the vision was stronger because you were holding me, because I felt connected to something good. Done. He pulls me against his chest without hesitation. What else? I need to focus on a question, a specific outcome I want to see. What question? I close my eyes, pressing my face against his heartbeat. How do we win? The vision takes me immediately. It's like being pulled underwater, except the water is made of light and possibility. I see fragments, flashes, a dozen different futures spinning around me like broken glass. Victoria, triumphant, holding a baby that isn't hers. Cole, dead on the penthouse floor. Marcus, broken and hollow, standing in an empty room. Me, running through streets I don't recognize, blood on my hands. No, no, these aren't the futures I need. I push deeper, searching for something else, something better. And then I see it. Victoria, in handcuffs, being led away by men in FBI jackets. Cole, sobbing in an interrogation room, confessing everything. Marcus and me standing in this same penthouse months from now. A baby in his arms, a ring on my finger. Both of us laughing at something I can't hear. The image is so beautiful it hurts. But how? How do we get from here to there? I push further, demand more, and the vision responds. I see myself, now. Picking up the phone, dialing a number I memorized months ago, but never had the courage to use. I see the person on the other end answering, listening, understanding. I see everything change. The vision releases me, and I gasp back to reality. Elliot, Marcus's voice is urgent. What did you see? A way out. I'm already scrambling for my phone. I need to make a call. To who? Someone I should have trusted from the beginning. My fingers shake as I dial. Someone Victoria can't buy or threaten. Someone who's been waiting for a chance to take her down for years. The phone rings once, twice. Then a voice I haven't heard in 5 months answers. Elliot? Oh my God, Elliot. Is that you? Hey, Aunt Sarah. I smile despite everything. Remember when you said your FBI task force was investigating the Thorn organization? I have some information you might find interesting. 30 minutes later, the situation has completely transformed. Turns out my aunt has been building a case against Victoria Thorn for 3 years. Money laundering, extortion, human trafficking. She just couldn't get anyone on the inside to flip. Until now. Victoria's men scatter the moment the first FBI vehicle rounds the corner. Loyalty only goes so far when federal agents are involved. Within an hour, the tactical team has been detained. Cole has been arrested at his apartment while trying to burn evidence. And Victoria herself is sitting in the back of a government SUV, her perfect white suit wrinkled for probably the first time in her life. She glares at me through the window as they drive her away. I wave. Petty? Yes. Satisfying? Absolutely. I can't believe that worked, Marcus says, standing beside me on the sidewalk. I can't believe your aunt is FBI. I can't believe I never told you about her. I lean against his side, exhaustion finally catching up. In my defense, we weren't really at the meet the family stage when everything fell apart. We're at that stage now? I mean, your mom just tried to kidnap me and steal our baby, so I think we've skipped a few steps. I look up at him. But yeah, if you want to be. His answer is to kiss me. It's soft at first, gentle, asking permission. And when I open to him, it deepens into something that makes my toes curl and my bond marks sing. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. Is that a yes? I manage. That's an absolutely. 2 months later, I'm standing in front of a mirror, trying to button a shirt over my 7 months pregnant belly and failing miserably. This is pointless, I announce to the empty room. I'm a whale, a beautiful, glowing, miracle of life whale, but still a whale. Nothing fits. You're not a whale. Marcus appears in the doorway, looking unfairly handsome in a charcoal suit. You're carrying my son. That makes you the most attractive person on the planet. Flattery will get you everywhere. That's the plan. He crosses to me, batting my hands away from the buttons and doing them himself. His fingers brush my belly with every movement, and the baby kicks in response. He knows your touch, I murmur. Gets excited every time. Good taste. He gets that from you. I snort. I have terrible taste. I fell for a mafia boss whose mother tried to kill me. Former mafia boss. Marcus finishes the last button and smooths down my collar. The organization is officially disbanded. All assets liquidated, funds distributed to the legitimate businesses. I'm a boring real estate developer now. You're never boring. Flatterer. That's my line. He grins and it still makes my heart skip, even after 2 months of rebuilding what we lost. The trust came back slowly, then all at once. Therapy helped. Time helped. But mostly it was just us, learning each other again, falling in love again, this time without secrets or manipulation or evil mothers-in-law lurking in the shadows. Victoria is awaiting trial. Cole took a plea deal and is serving 15 years. Preston disappeared to Europe the moment the news broke, which is honestly the best outcome for everyone involved. And me? I'm happy. Genuinely, ridiculously, terrifyingly happy. Ready? Marcus offers his arm. For what? You still haven't told me where we're going. It's a surprise. I hate surprises. You'll like this one. I let him guide me out of the penthouse, into the elevator, down to the lobby where Gerald grins at us like he's in on something. Have a wonderful time, Mr. Reyes, he says with a wink. Gerald, what do you know that I don't? Many things, sir. Many things. Helpful as always. The car takes us through Chicago, and I watch the city blur past. It's spring now. The trees are blooming, and Lake Michigan sparkles in the afternoon sun. Everything feels fresh, new, possible. We stop in front of a building I don't recognize. Modern architecture, big windows, a sign out front that I can't quite read from this angle. What is this place? Come see. Marcus helps me out of the car and we walk to the entrance together. He pushes open the door and I step inside. It's an art studio. Not just any art studio, a massive art studio with high ceilings and natural light flooding through skylights. There are easels set up, canvases stacked against walls, supplies organized on shelves. A whole section dedicated to different mediums, from oil paints to watercolors to charcoal. And on the far wall, in elegant lettering, Reyes Studio. Marcus, my voice cracks. What is this? Your dream. He stands behind me, hands settling on my belly. You always wanted your own studio, a place to create, to teach, to build something that was entirely yours. So I bought the building, had it renovated, stocked it with everything you could possibly need. This must have cost. Don't. He presses a kiss to my temple. Don't think about cost. Think about what you're going to create here, what you're going to build. I'm crying. Again. Pregnancy hormones combined with overwhelming emotion make me basically a faucet these days. I love it. I manage through the tears. I love it so much. There's one more thing. He turns me around to face him, and then he's reaching into his pocket, pulling out a small velvet box. My heart stops. Elliot James Reyes. Marcus drops to one knee, right there in the middle of my new studio. 5 months ago, I found you in a nightclub, pregnant and terrified, and still the most incredible person I've ever known. You survived everything my family threw at you. You came back to me when you had every reason to run. You gave me a second chance I didn't deserve. Marcus, let me finish. His voice is thick with emotion. I want to spend the rest of my life earning your trust. I want to raise our son together, build a family together, grow old together. I want to wake up next to you every morning and fall asleep beside you every night. I want to be yours completely and forever if you'll have me. He opens the box. The ring inside is simple and perfect. A band of white gold with a single sapphire, the exact color of the shirt I was wearing the first time we met. Will you marry me? The answer should be obvious. We've been through hell together. We're having a baby together. We've already rebuilt our lives around each other. But Marcus is looking up at me with such hope, such vulnerability, such raw and open love that I want to savor this moment, want to remember it forever. Yes, I whisper. Yes, absolutely, 1,000 times yes. He slides the ring onto my finger, and it fits perfectly. Of course it does. Then he's standing, pulling me into his arms, kissing me like I'm oxygen, and he's been drowning. I love you, he breathes against my lips. I love you too. I'm laughing and crying at the same time. Even though you're dramatic and possessive and you can't cook, I'm learning to cook. You burned water last week. That was one time. Our laughter echoes through the empty studio, filling the space with joy. And I realize, standing there in Marcus's arms with my ring catching the light and our son kicking happily in my belly, that this is what I was so afraid of losing. This feeling, this connection, this sense of belonging to someone who belongs to you right back. 5 months ago, I thought I'd lost everything. I was wrong. I was just waiting to find my way home. Epilogue, 1 year later. Okay, buddy, smile for the camera. Our son, Daniel Marcus Thorne, grins a drooly grin and promptly shoves his entire fist into his mouth. He's 6 months old, chubby and perfect, with Marcus's gray eyes and my stubbornness. That's not a smile, Marcus observes, bouncing Daniel gently. That's a hand attack. Same energy. You say that about everything, because it applies to everything. We're in the studio, surrounded by my art students' work and the chaos of a typical Saturday. Marcus insisted on bringing Daniel to my class this morning, claiming father-son bonding time. Really, I think he just likes showing off the baby. I can't blame him. Our son is objectively adorable. Mr. Reyes? One of my students, a teenage Omega named Jamie, approaches shyly. I finished my piece. Can you look at it? Of course. I follow Jamie to their easel, where a stunning portrait awaits. It's raw, emotional, full of the kind of vulnerability that takes courage to put on canvas. This is incredible, I tell them honestly. You should be proud. Jamie beams, and I think, watching my student glow with confidence, that this is what happiness looks like. Not grand gestures or dramatic rescues, but small moments. Simple joys. A studio full of art, a baby's laugh, a partner who looks at you like you hung the moon. Marcus catches my eye across the room, Daniel still gnawing on his fist. He smiles. I smile back, and somewhere in my chest, my bond mark hums with contentment. We made it. Against all odds, through all the pain and lies and fear, we made it. And this is just the beginning. Epilogue. Forever starts now. Yes, I whisper. Yes, absolutely. 1,000 times yes. Marcus slides the ring onto my finger, and it fits perfectly. Of course it does. Then he's standing, pulling me into his arms, kissing me like I'm oxygen, and he's been drowning. The kiss deepens, and I melt into him, fingers curling into the fabric of his suit jacket. There's a private office in the back, he murmurs against my lips. No windows. Are you suggesting we christen my new studio? I'm suggesting we celebrate properly. He guides me through the studio, never breaking contact. His hands trace my sides, my back, the curve of my belly where our son grows. Every touch sends sparks across my skin. The office is small and private. A leather couch sits against one wall, and Marcus lowers me onto it gently, carefully, like I'm something precious. We don't have to, he says softly. If you're not ready. I've been ready for 5 months. I pull him down to me. Stop talking. He listens. His mouth finds my neck, tracing the bond mark that's been aching for him since the moment we reunited. I gasp when his teeth graze the sensitive skin, not biting, but promising. One day, he breathes, I'm going to complete this mark, make you mine officially. I'm already yours. I know. He pulls back, eyes glowing amber. But I want the whole world to know too. His hands work the buttons of my shirt slowly, reverently. Each inch of exposed skin earns a kiss. My collarbone, my chest, the swell of my belly where he pauses, pressing his lips against the place where our son kicks. Hi, baby, he whispers. Sorry to disturb you. Your dad is about to make your papa very happy. Did you just apologize to our unborn child for seducing me? Seemed polite. You're ridiculous. You love it. I do. God help me, I really do. What follows is slow and sweet and overwhelming. Marcus touches me like he's memorizing every inch, like he's making up for 5 months of separation with every kiss and caress. And when we finally come together, my bond mark burns in the best way possible. Afterward, we lie tangled on the couch, my head on his chest, his hand tracing lazy patterns on my back. So, I say, how's that for christening a studio? I think we need to christen every room. There are 12 rooms? Better get started then. I laugh and he pulls me closer, pressing a kiss to my hair. I love you, Elliot Reyes. I love you too, Marcus Thorne. I tilt my head up to meet his eyes. Even when you're being dramatic. I'm romantic, not dramatic. Same energy. He kisses me again, and I decide that maybe, just maybe, same energy is exactly right. The end. Thanks for watching, fam. If this story made your heart explode in the best way, smash that like button and subscribe for more emotional roller coasters. Drop a comment telling me, if you had a vision of your future, would you want to see it, or would you rather let life surprise you? Share this with someone who needs to believe that second chances are real and that love is worth fighting for. Until next time, stay blessed and keep believing in happy endings.